What's good, YouTube? What's going down with everybody? What's happening out there? How's everybody doing? Well, little boy, hello, and I'm back again with another video. I appreciate everybody for clicking on this video. I don't need everybody liking, commenting, and subscribing to my shit, but I appreciate and I'm glad and I gladly I appreciate it and I gladly am grateful for people who are doing that. It's your boy Harlem and I'm back again with another video. So today's video, I'm just going to be sharing possible market direction for the week of the 12th all the way to the 16th of September 2022. Disclaimer, this ain't financial advice. Everything that I say or do, I do based off of my own experience, my own analysis, my own psychology, my own emotions, and my own confidence. So if you take something from everything that I'm sharing, this ain't financial advice. I'm just trying to help someone out there, not everyone, someone. You feel me? So without further ado, let's just roll over to the charts and let's continue to trust the process. You feel me? So looking at the structure, we're starting off with the NAS, by the way, because that's where everything starts. That's where everything ends. You feel me? So my laptop is a bit slow. So looking at the overall structure of the NAS, you can still tell the light price is still indicating a movement to the downside. You feel me? We're still indicating a move clearly to the downside. You feel me? With current price printing out a low. We printed out a low on current price and we printed out this high right there. I'm still working on current price, but either way, I still know that like we have this level which price isn't complete, which price isn't came back for a possible retest or pullback or an exhaustion phase. Whatever that you want to say it is, whatever that you want to say it is what it is, homie. You feel me? So I'm still having something like this because on my previous outlook, I did print out that like we're still looking for potential pullback in and around some of these levels in order for price to continue moving to the downside. So price didn't indicate a retest of this level. We had multiple rejections for 2 days or three, I can say. Then price clearly shot to the downside. Now price pulled back in correlation or in relation that price wants to come back to complete the zone, which it hasn't completed before price can continue moving to the downside. So on the daily time frame, if y'all can see what I'm trying to show y'all, we're having something like this. We're having something like this. You feel me? A potential head and shoulders on the daily time frame. Obviously, if you have a potential head and shoulders on the daily time frame, there's a high possibility that price will continue moving to the downside, like highly or impulsively pushed to the downside. So to my point of view, I'm just simply waiting for what? For price to pull back in and around some of those levels before it can continue looking to make those new lows. You feel me? So the daily time frame is set down and clean. You feel me? But either way, we're still having the zone which we need to look at, like which we need to keep our eyes on. I can tell. So from this zone, this is a strong resistance. Price has been holding this zone as resistance. You feel me? If you can tell that like price tapped created, okay, price created some support, created a resistance zone that will top, some support, some resistance, some support, some resistance. Now we're potentially looking at what will price do. So on the daily time frame, I ain't see much. I'm not finna buzz down to the 4H. So, damn, I'm having so many lines now. The fuck? So from the 4H, we can tell that like there's a high possibility that like price do want to come back for a possible retest of that zone before price can continue moving its overall direction. You feel me? So now what I clearly saw is that like price has been moving in high highs and high lows on current price until price broke this whole movement and created a whole new type of movement. You feel me? What the fuck? I don't understand what's wrong with my trading view, but I can tell that like something's wrong with my shit. Still, no change. Yeah, it's back, it's back, it's back. So what I'm trying to say is we can tell that like price has to come back in and around some of those zones if it could or if it has to. But to me, I still see price having a strong push to the downside from current price action. From what has currently happened, I can still see price. Now I need to change this. We're looking to continue bearish once price has a retest of the neckline. Once price gives us the clean retest of the neckline from our head and shoulders, which we're looking at, then like we can have a high continuation to the downside. So we had this on the NAS some week ago, last week or the previous week. We had something like this. Price has been moving in higher highs and higher lows. You feel me? If you can, if you can see, if you can see what I'm trying to see clearly, price has been moving in higher highs and higher lows, taking them highs, taking them lows out, and had a double top, double bottom, but still pushed, printed out this low. Now started moving to the upside. So once we had the violation of our break wall, price coming back for a retest and continuing to the upside, then this changed everything. I can tell that like many traders lost money through this move before me. So looking at current price, you can tell that like price clearly pushed to the upside before me. No lie about it. But we still have this very same zone that we're looking at, this one, or I can even indicate this high before me because we know where this zone is going, where this zone comes from, and where this zone is lying. Before me. So to me, so on Nasdaq, to me, from the daily time frame, we're looking for price to come back for what? For possible retest of the zone before price can continue moving to the downside. On the 4H, we might have a potential double top. We might have a potential double top off of that zone, which might possibly push price to the downside. You feel me? So now I have two correlations right now. We're having a potential we're having a potential market retest on the daily time frame, and on the 4H, we're having a potential double top. So if I had to buzz down to the 1H, if I had to buzz down to the 1H, I can't tell the like current price has been clearly moving in highs and higher lows before me. So once price printed out this high, higher low, this high, higher low, short straight for a new high. What we can clearly tell on current price is that like prices trapped of that zone. You form prices trading off of that zone, which I can print out. I don't mind. Something like this, man. Something like this from the 4H. You feel me? So with that said, I don't need to put everything and make the charts look dirty. What I'm simply waiting for is for um bullish depletion off of that current price, or I'm simply waiting for price to push further to the upside and have that bullish depletion and that bear momentum and start looking for price to move clearly to the downside. So on the NAS, I can't say much. On the daily time frame, we're having a potential retest from our neckline, from our head and shoulders, which we broke. On the 4H, we're having a potential double top. On the 1H, we're simply waiting for price to push further to the upside to retest that zone or to have that bullish depletion and that bear momentum and start looking to go to the downside with price. I don't see price being bullish this week or anything like that. I don't see it. I just see price continuing moving to the downside. You feel me? So gold, I might like to start off from the 4H. So On gold, we clearly are moving sideways. You feel me? Prices printing out highs and printing out lows. You feel me? So we're simply waiting for a breakout of the zone or a break of the zone. But either way, even though price breaks the correction to the downside, we're still having a strong support zone, which has been holding price for some days now, or years, since 2020. This is a 2020 support zone. I printed out the support zone on 2020, printed it out again 2021, came back again 2021, came back on mid 2022, and now it's still close to the very same zone. So on gold, to my side, we're simply waiting for price to clearly what indicate. I'm simply waiting for price to continue to the upside or to continue to the downside. So that's my take on gold for the week. I can't say much, I can't do much because price has been trading in a correction or in a range or in a zone. It's been trapped in a support and a resistance zone. But let me just let me just try and share how I analyzed this trade. So on this trade, let me start off like this. I don't need no replay mode. So on this trade, we had price printing out a high, printing out a low, printing a high, coming back again to the very same low. So with that, price rejected this low, tried pushing bullish, came back, but had an indecision candle and a bullish close. So obviously, if a price is having a low, pushing again, coming back to the very same zone, having some sort of bad depletion of pin bars and bullish close and a bullish candle close, do anticipate a continuation to the upside. This is just how I trade, or just how I base my trade. So we found an indecision and we found a bullish close. So this was basically a pre-London movement, you feel me? So with that said, we simply had this boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You feel me? So that's just how I took my trade. I simply waited for what? For price to come back to the zone, for either for a breakout or for a double top, for a double bottom to continue moving to the upside. So we had a pin bar. Okay, we had an indecision candle, a bullish one, and we had a bullish close in anticipation of price having a possible continuation to the upside. And I took my trade above the candle, above the previous bullish candle in anticipation of a higher continuation to the upside. So me not having to close this trade is based on, I'm trying to see if price has completed this whole bear move. Okay, so we all know that like if price is moving in lower lows, lower high, lower low, 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 and price starts moving in a sideways movement. We all know that like from this, you're either going to have something like this, or price will have an impulsive move to the downside. So now price is in a correction. So I won't do anything on gold this week until we have a bullish or bearish breakout. But what I can try and do is to try and break down some possible movements which we might have. You feel me? Because you all know that like even though we're in a correction, we can still tend to look for possible trades. So yeah, I might finna have something like this. So this is for scalping. If price breaks out, comes back for a retest, we can take trades to the downside based on price having a bullish channel and breaking it to the downside. You feel me? But if not, price is still pushing off of this level, we can't simply wait for a breakout and retest and continue moving to the downside. So gold is in a correction. We don't take any trades on gold. I don't take any trades on gold if prices in a range. I simply wait for bullish or bearish breakout to take continuation trades. So German 30, I might gonna like to start off from the daily time frame. So German 30 has been bearish. Overall structure, we can tell that like price is bearish. We have price moving in high, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. You form me. So now what I see is that price still want to come back to the zone. You form me. So with that said, I see a daily time frame zone. I see a zone in my daily time frame in which I believe that like price is going to be strong from it for me. So with this, the only thing that I'm waiting for now is for price, because now we can tell that like we still have an head and shoulders even on German 30 potential retest for continuation to the downside. So what I'm waiting for is for bullish breakout or for the bearish continuation move to the downside. So busting down to the 4H. So to the 4H, we do have our level, we do have our zone. I do have the zone price. Okay, so now price once came back. Price once tapped in of the zone and pushed to the downside. And now current price has tapped in again. So we had we had now a bullish candle close, but it wasn't full. And we had a pin bar and a bullish close, and now we have a pin bar again on current price. So with that said, I might simply head to the 4A up to the 1H because nothing's going on to me on the 4H. So to me, I see, so now we're having some sort of bullish depletion. We're having some sort of bullish depletion of the zone. You form it now, because now price is now giving us bullish or bearish candles in the very same zone, no movement. The only thing I'm waiting for now is for price to either impulsively break to the upside or to trade below the lows. You feel me? That's the only thing I'm waiting for. I'm simply waiting for price to trade to the upside above the support, above the resistance, or to simply break the lows which we have and start looking for that bullish, for that bearish momentum. I guess someone gets that because I can tell I didn't explain it that simple. But either way, we move. So looking at German 30, looking at US 30, looking at US 30, looking at US 30, we can tell that like our overall structure is also indicating a move to the downside. Price is clearly moving in high highs, lower lows, and lower lows, and lower highs and lower lows. So looking at current price, you can tell that like price once printed out the zone and price printed out a low. And once price once printed out a low. Boom. So obviously, with that said, I might simply need to buzz down to the 4H because now on the daily, I can't say much. So from the daily time frame, price once created a double top of the zone, but at the same time, it was a bear flag. You feel me? Price once printed out, price created the zone, which printed out the flag, which pushed price to the downside. And now price finna come back to the very same zone. We can expect price to continue moving to the downside. That's just how I see it, or that's just how I base my trades. And we can tell that like on current price, you had a bullish close and a pin bar. So obviously with a pin bar, we simply look with a pin bar, we simply wait for what? For a big candle close for continuation to the downside. So on the 4H, we're having a pin bar. They're going to simply wait for our Asian session to have a big candle close in anticipation of the London and the New York to continue moving to the downside. So from the 1H, yeah, looking at history, price did print out the zone, boom, boom, double top, bear flag, move to the downside. Now we're having some sort of depletion of that zone. So what I'm simply waiting for is for It's for price to indicate that like we are continuing to the downside or we are continuing to the upside. But now this is based on the 4H, the pin bar which we have. We simply wait for a reject. We're going to simply wait for a bear close in anticipation of a continuation to the downside. So US 30 to me, it's a simple pay for me to trade this week. It's a simple pay for me to trade this week based on everything that I said. You follow me? Based on everything that I said, we're having a price once printed out a bear flag and a double top and some sort of resistance and push to the downside. Now price came back to the very same zone and had a pin bar on the 4H. A simple wait for bear close to simply add confirmations or correlation to take those continuation trades to the downside. So German US 30, you simply are moving to the downside. No cap, no keys, no shit about it. So USD CAD, I might start from the 4H. So USD CAD, guys, if you remember very well, USD CAD had some sort of resistance, which now price broke out, retest, pushed to the upside, spiked the very same zone, and impulsively broke back in, broke back in. So with that said, now the only thing that I'm simply waiting for the daily time frame to pull back off the zone to continue moving to the downside, or to just simply have some continuation to the downside because now price printed out this low before me. So what I'm simply waiting for is for break of the lows for continuation to the downside before me. So from the 1H, yeah, because now price printed out a lower low, a lower high. Let's wait for break of the low, retest for continuation to the downside. But either way, we can simply wait for what? For potential double bottom, for price to break out again if it would, to continue moving to the upside. But what I'm simply waiting for in USD CAD this week is for price to break the low, retest, and continue to the downside, or to pull back from the daily time frame and continue moving to the downside, because price once printed out some sort of resistance and some sort of support, traded on support, traded on resistance, came back to support, broke out our resistance, came back for retest, continued to the upside, broke back in. We're simply waiting for a retest above, for a retest below to continue moving to the downside with price. That's just how I base my trades, or that's just how I look to take my trades. So USD CAD, we clearly moving to the downside this week. I can tell on USD CAD. Tesla, I can say much. We skip. So Bitcoin, looking at Bitcoin, we can still tell the like overall structure of the market is clearly moving to the downside. You feel me? Price came back to our resistance, to our support. Price came back to our support zone after a long time. And I did, okay, on the previous video, which I shared on how I took a 50 pip trade, a simple 1-to-1, a regular 1-to-1 trade, a regular 1-to-1 risk reward ratio trade, which I took. I did share possible possible continuation moves to the upside on Bitcoin before me, and they played out. So obviously now looking at price, because our bullish move has now surpassed us, what I can simply do, because price was in a correction sometime on the zone, you feel me? Let me remove this one. Price once has a correction on the zone. So what we're simply waiting for is for price to continue breaking the zone, continue to the upside, have some sort of depletion, and start moving to the downside. So from the 4H, the zone is important. To me, the zone is important because price once pushed to the downside on the zone, coming back again, we can potentially have that continuation to the upside, to the downside. But now, looking at current price, I can't tell that like we're having some sort of bullish depletion right there. The bulls are stepping down. The bulls are losing momentum. You feel me? So now, long as price don't break this zone, we can't tell that like we can't continue moving to the downside. But because now price printed this low, because now price printed this price has this lows. What I'm simply waiting for to take my continuation trades to the downside. Can simply wait for break of those lows to continue to the downside, or we can simply wait for price to break to continue to the upside. But I don't see gold. I don't see Bitcoin. I don't see Bitcoin trading around the 24,000 level or the 25,000 zone. That's just my analysis. That's just how I see it. So Bitcoin is simply waiting for what? Something like this, something like that. So this will be my analysis for Monday and Tuesday or for the rest of the week. Yeah. We are having some depletion. I do see some sort of depletion. Right? Even something like this. So obviously now I don't want to be in a rush to take trades because I see that like my trend line did touch and then like we are in resistance. You can potentially move to the downside. So what I'm simply waiting for now is for break off the lows and retest and continue to the downside or this. So let me try and print it out. Let me try and leave it as is so someone can try and understand what I'm finna trying to break down. So Bitcoin to me, we can continue to the upside if price breaks the resistance or start moving to the downside once we break the lows from our resistance. So Ethereum, I can't say much. Price has been holding this zone for some time. The support this has been a support zone which price has been holding for some time till it broke and retested and continued to the downside. Now we came back again to the very same zone. So we all know that like with such things, wait for retest to continue to the upside. Or we can simply wait for price to do what? To close below that zone and start moving to the downside. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, I can't say much for now. I can't say much because price is still moving. Price is still moving. But I have something like this. Price is in a bullish channel in higher highs and higher lows. So what I'm honestly, or what I literally am waiting for is for price to have this retest on this zone to continue to the upside. Or because now price touched our break wall, let's wait for break in, retest above, retest below, and start looking to move to the downside. So Ethereum, I can't say much. I can't say much. I can't, honestly. I can't. I can't. I need to be at the gym. I need to be at the gym by now. That's why I'm feeling a bit sleepy. My body ain't. My body's still thinking that like, what the fuck? We ain't in the gym by now. So Bitcoin price is still moving the way we did. I said we're simply going to take bad trades, bad trades on our resistance, bullish trade on our key level, and bullish trades on our support level. So with that said, we can tell that like prices reacting off of this resistance zone. Price broke out yesterday, broke back in, broke out today, broke back in. So on current price, looking at the 4H, you can't tell the like price they're trying to push off that zone. So what I always say, close below the lows to continue to the upside. That's what I'm trying to explain here. So I think I might take a trade on Bitcoin today. I think I might take a trade based on the 4H. Based on the 4H breaking out and breaking in and breaking back in. Okay, that's a regular 101. But overall, I'm looking to take a 103. So this trade will be based on the daily time frame. Price broke out and closed. Okay, price broke out and broke back in to close the session. Today it opened with a breakout and now trading inside a break back in. So the bulls are failing to continue to the upside. That's just what I'm trying to explain. So with that said, once price closes closes below the lows, you can continue moving to the downside. That will be my trade for today. No lie, guys. Once price closes below the lows, I can take continuation trades to the downside. So yeah, and it's a clean double top, high, high, breakout, retest, continue to the downside. So this, guys, please try and see my shit. Okay, we haven't a double top. What we're simply waiting for is for price to break the lows, retest the lows, and continue moving to the downside. So that's just my analysis for the day, and that's just my potential trade, which I might be looking to take for the day. You follow me? That's it. Nothing much, nothing less. That's it. You follow me? So last but not least, oil. Oil, we can also tell overall structure still indicating a downward movement. But looking at current price printed out this price had this some sort of support zone which we had when price broke out. Now we broke back in. So looking at the 4H, because I'm done from the 1H, we're having a bullish channel and we had price. Price broke out, printed a low, broke back in. Now what we're simply waiting for is for price to retest above and continue moving to the upside. You feel me? So from the 1H, we're having some sort of bullish behavior. You follow me? Some sort of bullish behavior. So now on current price, what I'm simply waiting for is for price to close, above the highs, and just to have something like this. Price close above the highs, and we continue moving to the upside with price. I'm also not looking for much, and I'm also not looking for less, because we can tell the price printed out a support and a resistance, and price has been trading off the zones until it broke out, broke back in, waiting for price to retest above to continue moving to the upside. That's just how I base my trades, or that's just how I look to take my trades. If I lose, I'll lose. If I win, I'll win. But I might keep on working my ass out. So on oil, I'm looking for a potential continuation to the upside. You follow me? On the NAS, I'm simply waiting for price. To either indicate that we are going to continue from that zone in order for us to move to the downside, or we are going to just continue to the downside from that zone. So oil on the NAS, I'm bearish. Gold, we're in a correction. We're only taking buys. At breakout and sells at breakout. German 30, we're simply looking to take buys once price breaks the resistance, once price breaks the resistance, we're taking buys. Once it fails to break and starts having that bear momentum, we simply wait for price to break the lows and take continuation trades to the downside. US 30, I'm simply waiting for price to break the lows to continue moving to the downside. USD CAD, I'm simply waiting for price to break the lows or to retest above to continue moving to the downside. Tesla, I can say much. Bitcoin, I'm simply waiting for price to break the lows and continue moving to the downside, or break the highs and continue moving to the upside. Ethereum, can say much. Litecoin, I'm simply waiting for price to break the lows. Okay, I'm simply waiting for price to break the lows, because you can tell that price has been failing to continue moving to the upside. Simply wait for price to break the lows and continue moving to the downside. Oil, I'm simply waiting for price to break the highs and retest. Okay, price, we're simply waiting for price to fail to retest, to fail to break back. Okay, I'm simply waiting for price to fail to break the support zone again and break the highs and continue moving to the upside. So yeah, okay, let me leave it on Litecoin, because I'm having a potential trade on Litecoin. I'm seeing a potential trade. So it's your boy once again, Harlem. It's your boy once again, Harlem. And we all know that how it is, how everything has been going. I pray we all have a profitable week. I pray that we enjoy it. We do our best. We still not grind. Believe in ourselves. We do what we're supposed to, not what we told to day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, and to all our fucking lives. Let's keep on winning. Before I end the session, we all know that like I need to go through my fundamentals. So early and people are now getting drunk. People are now getting drunk so early. They finna get drunk ain't nasty. Look what I got on my desk. And this UK, oh my God, before I forgot, RIP to Queen Elizabeth, man, RIP to our grandmama, RIP to our queen, RIP to our everything, man, RIP, man, RIP, man, RIP, man. Yeah, this shit is slow. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, man. Oh, come on. What the fuck is wrong with my investing.com? That's why I don't fuck with this app, man. This app was never fast. This app was never fast. So on Monday, we're having a holiday in China. South Korea, Hong Kong, and China, we're having a holiday. We're having GDP for the pound, manufacturing PMI for the manufacturing production for the pound, monthly GDP for the pound. And yeah, that's it for the day. On Tuesday, we're having average earnings for the pound, cow change for the pound, Bank of England, the governor gonna be capping, economic sentiment for the euro, which is like basically Germany. Damn, we're having CPI on Tuesday. Like, oh my God. Okay, so on Tuesday, we're having strong fundamentals. Tuesday, we're having strong fundamentals. So we're focusing on Tuesday. So I'm gonna focus on Tuesday, the CPI for Tuesday and the PPI for Wednesday. CPI on Tuesday, PPI on Wednesday, and interest rates for the pound on Thursday. I might focus on. And then having initial claims, Fed manufacturing, Philadelphia manufacturing, retail sales on Thursday. Damn, so Thursday we're having many fundamentals. And then Friday we're having retail sales for the pound. We're having CPI for the euro as a whole. And that's it. So on Tuesday we only have we don't have to focus on the CPI. We're gonna have to focus on the CPI and yeah, the CPI. So I'm looking for a fundamental on Tuesday. I'm looking for this fundamental on Tuesday, which gonna be the CPI. It's the CPI on Tuesday, and that's it. So to other fundamentals, they're gonna be based on your own perspective. So it's over once again, hello. And without further ado, I hope everybody has a profitable week. We all enjoy the week. We all do what we're supposed to and what we meant to, not what we told to, or not what life wants us to do or what the world wants us to do, but what we're meant to do and what we're supposed to day by day. It's over once again, Harlem. If you ain't live shooting with Harlem, who the fuck is you doing with it? That's all I got in this video. Peace and love. I'm out.